way. No, jokes aside, the Benoni position Magnus is getting is unique, really, and I think it's pretty good. Overall, we'll head into the bird's eye view first and remind you of where we sit. All 6 games are still in action. If you were with us from the beginning of this event, remember, round 1, all 6 games went to Armageddon. We kicked this thing off in style. Now that we are in the back half of the event, round 6 means that the players are facing off yet again. They've switched colors. I don't think we're going to get all 6 games in Armageddon today, but stranger things have happened. And your thoughts? We're getting action there. We're getting several moves. Dingley Ren expanding on the queen side, which is what Black has to do there. Magnus yet to really give us an answer on the knights, but he has played g4. Super aggressive stuff. So I think we jump right back in there after the Magnus confession.
Yeah, let's do that. Just a quick mention as well to Nakamura against Caruana, which looks like it's about to fizzle out, potentially a draw in the next few minutes. But we'll break that one down when it comes. We'll also see the Armageddon when it comes. Let's figure out what Magnus was discussing during his confessional. The Benoni is, the meaning at least, is son of sorrow.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
I knew that. No?
I thought you just made it up.
I just knew it rhymed with baloney, and I always said the Benoni is baloney.
No.
Son of sorrow, the Benoni, and I'm not sure exactly why it's called that. I know that it often leads to sorrowful positions. Right now, let's recap the last 3 moves that have occurred since we were last here. His next turn, we saw the earlier. Quincy 7 was one of our predictions. Black needs to create some counterplay and fast. Black is lacking an active plan, so B5 was next to come. G4 though from Magnus, G4 for the score. G for go. Let's go for the Black King. I guess Magnus is hoping that after moves like pawn to H6, he might even have the knight. Firstly to E4, very healthy, but to H3 with ideas of G5 now that there is a hook on the H. Pawn G5 next to come. But B5 instead, not touching the king side, and B3, Magnus keeps status quo. Yeah, I really don't like this position, just feels uncomfortable. Not sure what he should be trying here. Does he release the tension, trade the pawns? I mean, what else?
It's really a tough position. It's one of those positions where even though the evaluation by saying roughly equal, I don't think this is an equal position for 2 human beings facing each other in a really sharp dynamic battle where White's plan is pretty straightforward, going for the Black King, and Black has to be extremely precise to hold that equal evaluation that the computer is suggesting. So equal in terms of if computers and humans play perfectly, then it's equal. But it's a lot harder to play this accurately from Black's perspective, I think.
Totally agree. Although I think we've done a good job playing it. One thing Black probably doesn't want to do is play H6. You actually would like to leave White's knight and White's G4 pawn fighting for that G5. And I think that makes something like A5 for Ding. I mean, just like being forward. Your opponent is attacking on the king side, you're attacking on the queen side. Let's open up lines and give the rook on B8, the queen on C7, the minor pieces and waiting some chances to explode over there. And by the way, no, I was going to say right on cue he does. He moved a pawn. I thought he was playing A5, but he takes C4. Also interesting, that is the most straightforward way, right? The most concrete way to solve the problem.
I have no problem.
Big decision for Magnus now because he can actually take back in 3 different ways. Although I anticipate him taking with the B pawn seems to be the most logical. But maybe knight takes as well.
I love you.
Knight takes or B takes certainly. He would not want to create a D pattern for Black by testing with a D4, and the B takes C4 is indeed on the board.
Yoink! C4 would have looked attractive given White a very strong knight. He would have granted Black the D5 square for his knight. So I think Magnus reluctant to give Black any activity. So B takes just maintaining.
Whoa!
For attempts, I could see this backfiring on White if White isn't able to deliver some kind of checkmate to the Black King. If Black's knight starts creeping around towards the queen side, the Benoni pawn on D3 often becomes a huge weakness long term. Black's knight could jump in really bad squares in White's camp if Dick big if.
By the way, you big dummy! On the screen there.
Oh, word of the day, Benoni. Ancient Hebrew name still occasionally used, meaning son of my pharaoh.
Gotta trust me.
Oh my gosh, word of the day. You gotta tell people what to do with the word of the day.
You gotta use it on social media in a funny way. You know, I love GIFs and Photoshop contests. We'll give away some but yeah, word of the day.
Hey, babe!
Educational show. Those commentators, I did learn something. You know, no matter what, you learn something on this show. And in this case, the word of the day. It was massage yesterday. Massage. But no, today we don't see a lot of positions that are going to be massage for victory. We actually did have several games where players pushed and won yesterday. None bigger than but a lot of these games look a little more clear. The most clear is that we're going to get an Armageddon here in just a few minutes between Nakamura and Harmon.
Let's go over there and see how they traded off the pieces, because last time we left it was somewhat more complex than this.
No one's at the board over there with
Maybe
Magnus
they're
and
both
Ding
at the confessional?
No, maybe I don't know.
Oh,
Ding
well, these
No, I was talking about Ding got up before, but now we've got Nakamura and Fabiano.
As fast as it
Tale
goes.
as old as time. A couple of players face off to play chess. Let's just quickly pay off Hikaru versus Fabi because we're probably not going to come back to this here other than whatever breakdown David's going to give us to show how we got here, and then we will be back home again.
Yeah, just very quick rewind. This is the White should be simply because there's no way to get the board moving. Always be targeted by a second rook. Black's kingside structure as well, a bit fragile, so this one should be a draw. If one set of rooks were traded, maybe Black has some chances, but ultimately Hikaru will trade without too many problems. Just the fact that there was one brilliant moment in this game, and we see pretty much a draw offer from Fabiano. We'll see a handshake any second.
They're about to hit move 30, which is the move number where the players are legally allowed to offer a draw.
Smile the handshake between the top two American players, world number 2 and world number 3. Hikaru being current world number 2 since yesterday's win, and Fabi losing.
Hold it! Go!
The ranking switched around. And this means our first Armageddon of the day.
Very quickly, we're in Armageddon, which usually we get time to stretch and maybe get a third break, but no, this is going to be funny because we're going to have a result, even if it's an Armageddon fashion, between Hikaru and Fabi before any of the other games are done, if I had to predict.
Just like it was between Dingler and Magnus Carlsen on day 1.
Yeah. Ultimately, Hikaru keeps his number 2 ranking. He keeps a very good standing in this tournament, no matter what happens in the other games. Armageddon, though, will be a big bonus for Hikaru if he can take it. For Fabi, it would salvage some pride from the last few days.
Oh, nice!
So
Oh,
as soon as we know when that's going to start. You know the drill. It's usually between 15 to 20 minutes after having finished. They'll get underway soon. I do kind of want to know what your comment was on the one brilliant moment.
Hold on, watch Mr. Theorn.
Time to look at it because they shook hands. Is it worthy of a replay, or were you just kind of adding entertainment?
If I promise to be quick.
I also
Let's
saw
do
it,
it.
and I really
Let's pull
wanted
up
to
that
show
board
it.
and let him analyze it real quick.
Pretty.
Come on, he's just a kid. He's just a kid who loves chess. Let him do it. Go ahead.
No, honestly, it was beautiful. I think we should show it. It's a very instructive, educational, and beautiful technical pattern.
Yeah, and it was in this position Hikaru actually sacrificed a pawn. It looks like a blunder, but of course there was a really cunning plan in mind. Rook H to E1. It looks like this hangs a pawn after a trade of pawns in the center. Queen takes D4. Black was temporarily pawn up. Here though, Hikaru lands rook to E7. And look at that. The exclamation point awarded to this move. It is sacrificed, but don't touch this rook. It is poisoned. Rook takes it now. Would fall to a back rank checkmate. Moves. And rook E7 threatening Queen takes F7, of course. So this forced Fabiano to bail out to a dead drawn endgame. Queen back to F6. Black structure ruined, and White's activity carried actively. Impressive stuff.
It was worth it. You know, we let him do it. It was worth it. Thank you, Grandmaster David Howell. That was not a howler.
Thank you.
All right, well, the pieces have been reset. You see the label on the
was.
board change.
It looks like the picture!
How sexy the visuals are. Shout out to the team working super hard. That little detail lets you know that we are in Armageddon between Nakamura and Caruana every other game. Still a classic.
Can we go to the red board? As I said, that is my favorite color, but also I think, even though
Let her rip, Tater Chip.
between tournament leader by women and reigning women's world champion June, that the computer was quite I wanted to ask you, David, if it was a mistake and why it's a mistake.
What did you do?
Anna, I'm going to throw it back to the French defense expert. F5. Is that ever a good idea in the French defense?
Well, usually when you play F5 in the French defense, it's quite desperate. It's to avoid that you're getting checkmated, because what you would like to do in the French defense is to push that pawn only one square, F6, so you are trying to get rid of that central pawn. White gains a lot of space in those lines in the French defense, and this is exactly the French defense. The problem with F5, yes, en passant is possible, he takes F6, but White is not forced to. So if White decides not to take it, you do keep your space advantage and central control as White, and that could be the reason why I'm answering my own question. David, you tricked me!
I'm a trickster. Anna is my middle name, if you didn't know. And yeah, this current position, I'm wondering why the advantage is so significant for White. I guess it's because at some point a White knight might land on the f4 square, a beautiful semi-outpost, and a big target on e6. I'm wondering whether you kind of start with moves like bishop g5, just harassing the black queen here. It is a bit uncomfortable, like you said, now that it's impossible to challenge that.
June holds positions like this a lot, though. It's going to be, you know, the computer's favorite to be White. The space is there. The eval will stay.
Really?
But there's still a lot ahead in this game. That position is also solid, and June, a pretty good chess player, right? If anyone needed the memo on that, and probably recognized that she didn't like the direction of the game. Maybe didn't want to face Vaishali's aggressive h5 plan and go up against an aggressive attack from the young destroyer. So she's like, I'm going to make this a bit of a grind. Yes, I'm working, but I've got play on the queen side. White has a space advantage, but it's not super clear. You just said it yourself, David. I'm not sure why the advantage is so big. Those were words that came out of your mouth, right? And I'm just, again, not trying to play devil's advocate today. I feel like I'm doing it naturally, but I'm looking at this and I feel like June is going to be in a position where Black has open lines on the queen side, a one-way street over there. She'll find a way to continue to push forward, and now what she's done with F5, from a practical point of view, is Vaishali's not getting the position she wants. Vaishali wanted something different when you played H4. She wanted an attack on that side of the board, and so I'm just saying that I think she knows exactly what she was doing with that move. Even if White's better, this is going to get into a different type of affair than it would have been.
Never mind. Defended the French defense, by the way.
Now you tricked me.
Danny can claim it as a Sicilian. Classy move from Drew and Drew. Not April, I just want to say, trading off pieces when she's trapped.
By the way, we didn't actually mention it, but until move 9, this was actually a repeat of one of Vaishali's games from the candidates versus Rashtrana. So she was prepared. Well, we've been saying it all event. She's very well prepared right now, and bringing prep from the candidates to the table. Literally. So, surely June is aware of that game, and we are now headed down.
Yeah, and Vaishali, big decision whether to trade knights or not. The more pieces that come off the board, the happier Black will likely be. I'm going to make a bold prediction as well and say that Black might not castle. Black's king might just sit on the f7 square, guarding this slightly tender pawn on e6. And I can see this being a double-edged game a bit later on, depending on how Vaishali reacts right now. Anna, French defense, kind of. Is he going to pay off long term?
I think it's going to be black will be but white is always slightly better at pushing. So it's Ju and Jun who will be defending this to not lose.
Okay, should we zoom out for now and leave these two to it? I'm kind of curious about the Nimzo Indian game between Compilation and FailArmy.
Yeah, especially as with our new amazing addition there we saw on the bottom of the screen, keeping a real-time update in every game in each section, we see that Humpy Canero's advantage maybe increasing a teeny bit. These are usually the way you don't want the Nimzo to go for black, speaking from unfortunate experience. When you start seeing your pieces wrestle for squares and having to play f6, it doesn't feel great. At the same time, if you can get white to play d5 or even take on e5, when the knights get their opportunity, they will re-maneuver, they will wiggle back to squares like c5 and d4, or c7 goes e6 or a6. So it's interesting, a little bit of a space advantage for white, but the computers are a little biased to the center and the bishop pair. So I'm intrigued.
She should know over the 20 years I've worn these all my life. I'm not going to walk.
Really like how he has handled her clock here. Has come back to bite her with her Achilles heel in a few games. Things covered for now. I like the black still. So despite D3 looks like a piece right now. It depends on plans. It feels like a lot of maneuvering ahead. Queen to C2. Bit of a mysterious one, I guess, improving the white queen. But there we already see the evaluation bar slide. And yeah, I think Pia might be relatively comfortable in these types of positions, despite the clock situation.
Oh, but it's funny because Pia Kremling might be feeling she's visited the confession. I know you were on the edge of your seat. I was going to say, yeah, we're going to go to this right now.
Female player to ever visit the confessional. This is a big moment.
She did it. She's leading the way. Her experience, she's saying, come on, everybody, you can do this. And she jumps into the confessional. Let's see what Mrs. Cromley had to say.
This is the first time and I just feel I have to take the moment now.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Too late. And as I also have forgotten to come here in the first half of the tournament. So, yeah, what to say? Today, Margaret played before. Yesterday, she was very curious. On the first one was a different person because it had some tuners coming from Spain.
Hopefully it will create a trend. We love to see their thoughts. We love to see them in the confessional. It's such a unique that you get to hear from the players during the game what they are thinking. And I hope that Pia will show the way, lead the way for the rest of the participants. And I'm sure that Anna Crumling, streaming on her channel, covering her mom's game, will be replaying this video and analyzing what her mom said.
Yeah, she's a groundbreaker. She's a pioneer.
That's fast.
Pioneer. Jumping in for the first time. Yeah, so many fans. Such a classy person, and I love how her last words, I'm going back to fight. This is going to be a real scrap, and I think we really like to see her correct her form over the last few days.
Yeah. We all do, and she is a pioneer. I was going to say it was the first bad pun you had of the day, but I'm going to tell you.
This is
disaster.
happening.
She was the #1 rated player in the world in 1984, the top rated player, and she is a pioneer, literally, and a trailblazer for women in chess. And it's funny talking with her and her husband and Anna. at dinner a couple nights ago. It's funny to see because she loves being here, but she also, as I kept trying to talk to her about her games and her experience, all she wanted to talk about was Anna, and she kept talking about how funny it's become because she was very well known in the world of chess and considered a pioneer and admired by any women in the game, especially who knew her and everyone. But really now she gets stopped in airports where people go, wait, aren't you Anna's mom? Are you Anna's mom? And so she's become famous because Anna Cromling has been covering her games and tournaments. So now she's actually probably experiencing more attention at this time in her career than she ever has. And it's really funny. It works.
Really careful, not
anyway, she was just very excited and proud of her daughter. That's all she wanted to talk about.
Can I get jump off?
It's so amazing. Can I drop a teaser? Can I drop a tiny piece of information?
Do it.
Anna Cromling may have taken the lie detector test, might have responded to a question that suggests that she had to pick what's a bigger achievement, her mom becoming a grandmaster at the time where there were very few women having the title, or Anna herself reaching 1 million loyal followers on YouTube. Which one is the bigger achievement? What do you think she answered? And is it true that she took a lie detector test?
It is true.
And what is against me? Is it an Anna versus Anna? Am I just teasing this whole thing and hoping that it will be out on YouTube soon?
I want to know what she answered to. I want to see what the answer is. All right, well, let's go back to the first review and get an idea of what's going on in the other games. We're moments away from Hikaru Nakamura throwing down against Fabiano Caruana. On the edge of our seats. What's great about Armageddon early in the round is we get to dive into some wild chess, and maybe then by the time we come back to some of these games, we're just in wild territory for the rest of the day. So, but David, you get to choose now where we go. We see a few more moves between Magnus Carlsen and Ding Liren.
I think that's the one, Danny. There has been a questionable decision for Ding Liren on just the last turn. At least objectively, according to our Silicon friends, our all-seeing engines. Bishop to b7 granted a question mark, and I wonder why. It looks very logical, Anna. Planting potentially, ideally, long-term, trying to trade off White's beautiful bishop. But why could that be a mistake?
Why is it a mistake? Is it that the rook is getting very open, it's not having much space, and you can attack this with c5?
Oh, no way.
Does look tempting, right? Running out of squares. I guess the black rook could still sidestep, but maybe not the best long-term file to sit on. It looks like maybe Magnus should be going for this rook at least to destabilize it, or maybe he'll keep that in his pocket. His last couple of moves, Magnus suggested that he really wants to play f5 to go for the black king. We've talked about it for a while now. Magnus stepped back a knight to the e4 square in the last turn, so now f5 looks more viable. Maybe even g5 followed by very typical ideas of bringing the white queen in, the rook lift towards the king side, but it's all a matter of timing here. I think from a human point of view here, Danny, bishop b7, healthy, logical.
Yeah, logical from a human point of view. I like the plan you highlighted, though, with g5 and the idea of coming in with queen h5. Although I wonder if black will just play g6 if you do it to kind of slow down the pawn storm. One of the things we talked about in an earlier round is that when you're launching a pawn storm against a structure that has no weakness, being has not played h6, g6, and move the f pawn, there's no lever, right? There's no hook to tear open, and so it can take a little while to get something. So my point was I like g5 because at least the plan of queen h5 and then rook f3 to h3 is a clear battery that
my stomach is hurting.
that would be hard to stop. But all right, you can't stop the Armageddon train, and we back up. We're going to get back to the game between Magnus and Ding just in a little bit. But Hikaru and Fabiano throwing down in their second Armageddon battle of the event in round 1. The colors were reversed, but we had the same result in classical. Hikaru Nakamura ultimately won in Armageddon if you missed it. And here we go. We're off.
Who will launch the first improvement? It is the Ninja Indian again, making you happy. Danny, we're going to get another lesson here.
Same opening, Anna.
Exact same. I'm just waiting to see who will deviate. Or will they now go for that
Making
crazy
it.
line where Black
Oh, there you
would
go.
sacrifice a rook? No, this is not the exact same.
So very fast decision from Hikaru, which means very fast prep in between the game, right? He went right from the end of classical to catching up maybe with his second on site, Chris. Shout out to Chris if he's here. Because Hikaru came back to the board, did not choose queen f3, David, went directly for c takes d5, and then the f3 transition here to try to get a big center.
Yeah, white has lost castling rights, but watch out for the white king to maybe castle by hand, as they say, artificially getting the king to safety. White does have the opportunity to build a huge pawn center as well. Okay, first though, Fabiano is trying to trade off the queens, seeking safety in an endgame. It's not the most defensive threat, but he has switched things up, and Hikaru is well known to be very strong in these technical type of positions.
Papa Willie?
Also remember the time advantage is going to be a huge factor later on in the game. So Fabiano, mentioning his professional, he has struggled in more simplified positions this tournament.
He struggled with the time management as well in some of his Armageddon games, so it's crucial to highlight how in Armageddon White does have more time, but Black has draw odds, and so far Hikaru is keeping his time advantage.
Playing fast, and probably his position is a little bit